Okay, I'm in the bike cage in my condominium complex, and this bike cage has been the target of thieves for years now. They regularly come in here and snatch a bike, and I recently bought my new bike, my Trek Verve 2 disc 2021 model, and you know, like a lot of us, I'm bonded to my bike. I love my bike, so I've been watching a lot of bike theft videos and really trying to figure out how to prevent my bike from being stolen, because the thieves are going to come in here and eye my bike, and it needs to not be stolen, so if possible. So I just want to go over a few things that I've learned, and I want to start off just by showing, you know, here is the remnants of one of the bikes that was recently stolen. Okay, and there's a few of these in here. And now that I have a bike in this cage, I'm just fascinated by what the thieves might be looking at when they go down and look at these bikes and decide which one to steal. You know, it's kind of like the old story of a bear is chasing you in the woods. You don't need to outrun the bear, you just need to outrun your buddy. And in the bike cage, you know, any bike can be stolen, but you just need to make your bike harder to steal than the others, and the bear, or in this case the thief, will get somebody else's bike. Now, I wish nobody's bike was stolen, but until something's done, it's just going to be a routine here. So this particular bike that was stolen right here, you can see another one here with the front wheel hanging from the U-lock. And I go down through here and I study every bike and look at how they're locked up. And this particular bike, which was a very nice giant bike, I came into the bike storage cage about 3 weeks ago, and after reviewing all the bikes in the cage, I took a picture of this bike, took it up to the concierge, and I said, this will be the next bike stolen. And little did you know that a few weeks later, there it was on the condo message board, bike stolen. And you know, just look at this and you can see why. The guy's got a very nice you know, kryptonite U-lock that he put on his bike. But what did he attach it to? He attached it to his quick release front wheel. It's like all the thief had to do was lift this little lever, and the most expensive part of the bike, the whole bike, the frame, the rear wheel, he could just pop it off and, you know, take it away. And so, you know, people spend a lot of money on these bikes, and you know, this guy even went out and got a good lock, but just didn't really put the thought to, you know, where should the lock go on the bike. And I'm seeing a lot of people do that. And what's interesting is, you know, something that I didn't even consider that the thief would do is, you know, there's a lot of people in here that have U-locked their bike to the frame instead of the front tire, which is what you're supposed to do. But some of those same people, they don't have anything on their front tire, figuring, well, you know, as long as I've got my frame locked up, nobody's going to mess with my bike. But what happened on this Giant is, okay, the guy stole, you know, the bike frame and with the rear tire attached. Well, then how does he get away? Well, what he did was went down here to this guy. This guy has got this Trek bicycle, very nice. He's got it U-locked to the frame, to the bike rack, but guess what? He didn't have anything on his front tire. So the thief stole the front tire from this bike, put it on the frame from the stolen Giant bicycle, and rode away. And the concierge got it all on video. So, you know, just goes to show you. Now this other bike that was stolen, this one was stolen maybe 6 months ago. The bicycle owner hasn't even been down here, but you can see, same thing. They had it U-locked to their front tire, and what do they got? The quick release front tire. You know, the thief just popped it off and out the door, you know, and he spent a lot of money on these bikes, and you know, it's just sad the way some people lock them up. So I'm going to go down the line here and just show you what how some of these people are locking up their bikes, and which ones I think the thieves will go after next. And you know, we've reached out to the owners of some of these bikes and emailed them, you know, because they've all got permits on them, but people just don't respond or pay attention. So bye-bye to your bike. So it's unfortunate. And you can see here, now this one also had a cable on it. So what the guy did was he U-locked his front tire to the bike rack, and then he had a cable going through the frame of his bike, totally backwards. These cable locks are nothing, okay? Do not think that your bike is secure from any kind of a legit thief with these wire cables. They can snap those like butter. So it's only the part that the U-lock is connected to that's, you know, somewhat secure. So just you know, you do all your research to buy a nice bike. Do a little bit of more research on how to lock it up. So let's just go down the line here. So right here we've got a what is this? This is a Diamondback bicycle, and you can see this one is locked up with nothing but, you know, a cable. So if the thief decides they want this one, boom, they're going to snap that in a second. So I would give, you know, that's not going to be the easiest bike to steal, and that's a pretty easy bike to steal, but there's a couple in here that are even easier, but that one's going to be very easy to steal. Now here we got another Diamondback, and this guy's got a hefty kryptonite chain lock. That's a very nice lock, and you notice he's got it, you know, mounted through the bike rack, and he's got it going through the frame of his bicycle. That's smart. Now, if I was him, I'd stretch it down a little bit farther here and get it through your rear tire as well. And you know, there's even enough on this, he could actually get it all the way through his front tire as well. So he's still, even though he's got a good lock and he had the right idea of putting it on his frame, you know, he needed to, it could easily stretch out and get the rear and front tires. So I think that bike is pretty safe, but his front and rear tires are not. Okay, so here's another one. Now, this guy, I don't know if he's disconnected his front tire or if it's been stolen, but you know, he does have the bike U-locked through the frame and through the rear tire, so I'll give this guy some pretty good grades. After I go through all these, I'm going to show you how I've got my bike locked up. Some would say I'm a little bit overboard, but I love my bike and I don't want it going anywhere. Okay, so this one right here, this LIV, I'm not sure how expensive of a bike this is, but this is possibly going to be the next bike stolen in here. And you can see here, they've got a really nice lock, locked through nothing but their quick release front tire. So sad. Yeah, and this bike is in beautiful shape. Yeah, it's pretty new. Got some nice accessories on it. You know, look at that seat. The thieves are going to go after this one, and it'll be super easy for them to take that bike. So I'm going to give those people an F. Okay, this next bike here, you know, I'll give this bike a D. You know, it's just got a cable going through. Now he's looped the cable through his front tire and his frame, but like I said, these cables, snip, snip. Thieves have no problems with those. So, doesn't look like it's a very new bike or a very expensive one, so it could hang around for a while. Okay, now this giant bike, oh, this is a nice one. Yeah, this is a nice bike. Doesn't look like it's got many miles on it. He's got a nice kryptonite U-lock here going through the frame and the front tire, so that's pretty good. I'll give this guy a B on how he's handling that one. That one's probably going to hang around for a while. Okay, here we've got another Trek, and this one, you know, again, let's give this guy a D at the best. He's just got a cable, you know. If this bike cage was more secure, that might be okay, but there's been repeated thefts in here, so that's going to go. You know, if somebody wants it, it's theirs. Okay, so now we're looking at a Specialized here. Now this guy's got a very nice New York kryptonite U-lock. This is, you know, one of the highly rated locks right now. He's got it through his front tire, through the bike rack, through his frame. He's looking pretty good here. And look at this. One of the few people that's got a second U-lock, and he's got that through his rear tire and bike frame. So yeah, I'm going to give this guy a B, maybe B plus. Very good, very good. And that is a nice bicycle. That's going to be around for a while. You know, I think what the thieves come in here and look for, you know, they see the newer bikes have these disc brakes on them. So if you see that, you know it's a pretty new bike and pretty modern. So that's a very desirable bike, and the guy's done a good job of locking it up. And gosh, I wonder if he owns side-by-side bikes here, because there's another one, Kryptonite, right next to it. Also U-locked through the front wheel and through the frame, and he's got the same lock on the rear tire. So I bet the same person owns both of those bikes, and they've done a very good job. Okay, here we've got a Diamondback bicycle. The guy's got an on-guard U-lock through the front tire. Look at this. This is like the one I discussed down there that got stolen. You know, look at that. He has got the U-lock needs to go through your frame, and this could easily stretch down and go through the frame, but he's just decided that front tire is just too valuable. Let's get the U-lock through there instead of the bike frame, and then we'll run this cable wire through the rest of the bike. This would be a pretty easy bike for the thieves to steal, and that is a nice Diamondback bike. They got the disc brakes. You know, there's plenty of good feasting grounds for the thieves in here. Here's a nice looking Schwinn, and you know, U-lock through, again, same thing, U-lock through the front tire, but not through the frame, and they've got a cable locking the frame. You've got it backwards, people. The U-lock goes in the frame. If you want to use a cable, that's fine to lock up your secondary valuable things, like maybe your front tire. The U-lock has got to go on the bike frame. So, you know, there's lots of them down through here. I'm trying to see if there's any more that are really interesting. Look at this one now. This looks like a very nice bike, Dayhan. I haven't really heard of that, but same thing. He's got it U-locked through his front tire. You know, you need to adjust your bike on the rack somehow and get that thing through the frame. You got a quick release front tire. Somebody can just release that that front tire and snip this cable, and it's bye-bye. So yeah. So let me go back, and now I'm going to show you how I've got my bike locked up. And when I heard that the thieves had hit the cage the other day, I was pretty confident that they hadn't taken my bike. Now, I've probably got the newest bike in here. This is my Trek Verve. I am totally bonded with this bike. Love it, and do not want it to get stolen. So what I have bought, I've got the A-Bus Extreme U-lock. This thing is super heavy, super thick. You know, people are, you know, if somebody wants to get through that, they're going to have to get really serious. They cannot clip through that with any kind of bolt cutters. It's going to take you know, a diamond bladed saw or something to get through that, and in this bike cage that's going to create a lot of noise, so I don't think it's going to happen. So I've got that, and then you notice I've got a second U-lock. Now this is a Bontrager combination lock. The A-Bus is a keyed lock. The Bontrager is a combo lock, and I've got that going down through my rear tire and locking in with the A-Bus on the top. And I prefer to have U-locks of different types, because if a thief is good at picking one type of lock, maybe he's not good at picking the other type. So I'm giving him multiple challenges, multiple kinds of locks to get my bike. And then for my front tire, I've got a Lumitrol combo lock, and that's also going through the bike rack at the top. So I've got my front tire you know, with the U-lock on it. I've got my frame with the U-lock on it, and I've got my rear tire with a U-lock on it. And then I'm also running a cable that goes up through my seat and my rear rack. So This bike is on lockdown, and I think I'm going to be okay just because there's so many other bikes in here that are so much easier to steal. And so hope you got something out of that. I know I've been watching a lot of videos myself trying to figure out, you know, what do thieves look at, and now that I'm really into bicycles again, it's easy to go through here and see how they pick their targets. Good luck and keep on riding.